Good day to you, gentle person. Thank you for joining me as we take a look at Scrap Ship, which is a rather nice little top-down shooter, twin-stick shooter. I think that's the sort of thing you call these. You fly a little ship down on a 2D, looking down on a ship in a 2D plane as you zoom around and shoot asteroids and other enemy ships. And in this game you collect resources and use them to improve your ship. So it has a sort of a roguelite incremental sort of game loop, which is very, very satisfying and very, very enjoyable. And we have a fair bit of critique for the game as well to go through after we look at the gameplay, so stick around for that if you're interested in that sort of thing. But until then, let's first of all take a look at the amazing options page. First of all, it shows us all the controls, which I think are changeable as well. Oops, I tried to press escape out of that and I swapped it out, so you can actually change the controls. That is impressive. Inputs, you can change sensitivities. Audio, we have very, very excellent quality of life controls there. A full out mute button, the ability to adjust all the special effects. I hope the sounds are coming through to you guys as well. It's sometimes a bit difficult to get the audio balances right when you record. I record through OBS, and while it works quite well, it's hard to do the feedback. Anyway, I'll stop rabbiting on about that and just look at the video controls. You can VSync and anti-aliasing and all that. I have to say, I am exceedingly impressed by this very, very good set of quality of life controls for a Game Jam game. This is a Game Jam, the Go.Wild Jam, that is currently being voted on. It's got like another 6 days in it after this day of recording, so this is very early in this game's life cycle, I believe. I assume. Credits seem to be an awful lot of credits for like Git and things like that. So yeah, I hope this music is usable and things like that. We'll talk about that in the critique section. Anyway, let's jump in. Let's have a look at a new game. So this is our kind of upgrade UI. The game has dropped us into that to start off with. We have, I'll go through the UI quickly. So we have, this is our ship. We have a laser cannon in our front gun slot, and then our other 2 slots are empty. There are no weapons listed to put into our weapon slots. Fair enough. So we would be able to drag weapons across, and we can also improve weapons by right-clicking on them, which I didn't understand. So we'll talk about that in critiques as well. But that's quite useful. It's a nice thing to upgrade. We have the difficulty level that we can type in. I'm not sure what that's about. Anyway, so that's as we go in, we're going to fight at that kind of difficulty level that'll define the enemies that we fight and all of that kind of stuff. And we also have another upgrade menu here that will expand out as we unlock things that we spend scrap on. So we collect scrap and we collect weapons. And those are kind of our collectibles to upgrade ourselves with as we try and loop through the gameplay cycle. And let's hit play and have a look at the first cycle. And yeah, I think that's all we need to show at this point. So this is us in the middle here. We're being hit by an asteroid. We can hold down click and just fire. So I'm just holding down click. I'm not clicking furiously. That's as fast as we fire. And here we have an enemy that we need to try and destroy. Oh, and we're taking some damage, but I think we have picked up some scrap. So we picked up 7 scrap and we were defeated. And this is the kind of roguelite element where you get defeated and then you can upgrade yourself and come back and try again. We only have 7 scrap, and this takes 10 scrap to upgrade, and we didn't pick anything else up either. So yeah, we can't upgrade anything. So let's jump in and play again. You can sometimes get scrap from meteors, so let's destroy those while we can. There we go, we got a bit. And this guy's coming in. Let's travel a bit. Oh. I'm sucking because I'm missing these guys. Alright, so we got scrap and we got a new gun, a plasma cannon, and we got 2 of them. And again, I'll talk about that in the critique, but this is an interesting mechanism for upgrades anyway. So first of all, 19 scrap, we can boost our damage by a point. And now we have unlocked the ability to add to our health, which takes 10 scrap, but we only have 9. To increase our fire rate, we only have 9 scrap, we need 15. And to speed ourselves up a bit, and again we have 1 too few scrap for that. But if we go across to here, first of all we can add a plasma cannon, which will do a nice chunk of extra damage. And then if we right click it, you can see here we can upgrade it, but we can't yet because we need a few more. We need to pick up more plasma cannons. So if we pick up another plasma cannon, you saw we picked up 2, we don't get to add more plasma cannons to our ship. Instead, we just get to upgrade our single plasma cannon. We need 1 more before we can upgrade the level, but it'll boost the kind of damage and things like that we do, which is an interesting technique. I don't think we have any more laser cannons that we picked up. So anyway, so now we have two weapons on our ship, and we can jump back in and try and shoot some more. Let's zoom forward. You see, now we are blasting things because the plasma cannon hits quite hard. We can shoot some asteroids and wait for our enemy ships to arrive. Now, if you look up in the top right corner, I'm just trying to steer here. Sorry. If you look up in the top right corner, it lists the number of enemies that we have that we need to destroy. Oh, there's things to collect over there. And if we destroy all of those enemies, then we have succeeded in the battle, and we go up a difficulty level. And then the game currently only has 5 difficulty levels, and once we complete the 5, we've completed this game. I think it's best to kind of treat it as a demo state. There we go. Alright, so we were eventually defeated. Our health did get hit, but we picked up some guns, and we picked up a fairly nice chunk of scrap. And we're doing quite well, I think. Alright, well, let's start by just boosting our damage as far as we can. Now, this is max level. We don't even have 10 scrap, so let's boost our health a bit. But we've maxed out our damage, which is nice. And if we go here, we can upgrade this to level 2. So we can see it's 1 shot a second. Base damage is 1. We've boosted it up here. We get to do more damage. There's also a pierce button, which I think we'll get a later upgrade that adjusts our pierce, so I assume we'll be told there what it is. And the plasma cannon, we picked up several plasma cannons, so we can upgrade this a couple of times, I'm guessing. Yeah, so we're doing more damage, and I like to see it. Still no pierce, but we haven't upgraded that thing yet. So we have boosted our damage quite a bit. We are going to slaughter out there, so let's play, and let's zoom along. Let's go fetch those scraps while we're about it, shall we? Oh, yeah, we nailed that guy as he was coming in. Oh, like that. We're doing quite well here. We're getting these guys. It is very difficult to manage the steering and the aiming and the shooting at the same time. Hey, we got victory! I wasn't even watching the count, I was just trying to concentrate on flying and shooting at the same time. Alright, so we go up a level of difficulty, we managed to pick up 12 plasma cannons, only 1 more laser cannon, and we got a chunk of scrap. So let's try and boost ourselves. So let's boost our health as far as we can. And we end up with 27 scrap. And we can improve our fire rate a little bit there as well, and that's it. Oh, I think we can even increase our speed a little bit. So we've unlocked another layer down there. We've gone pretty far to maxing this out. Yeah, so we have done some good movement there. And let us try and boost our laser cannons. What I want to do, okay, can't boost our laser cannons, but we can boost the plasma cannons. Only once though. Obviously it's diminishing returns, so it costs more and more before we are able to upgrade. And what I'd like to do is I want to play just till we get the shotgun, because A, I have a critique on that, and B, the sound is very, very nice for it. And it's a good example of the kind of sounds that I tend to recommend game devs go towards to please the players, because it is viscerally pleasing. So let's see if we actually get a shotgun on some of these rounds here. Let's take this guy out and zoom around. Oh, he might give us a shotgun. Let's take this guy out. Come on, give us a gun. Okay. Oh, we did. We got a shotgun. Cool. Cool. All right. Let's spend our scrap. That's good. That's good. And that's good. I know there's things down here that I can sort of upgrade, but I like to go across the tree and max things out before I go further down, because the costs increase at the bottom as well, so you tend to get more benefit out of it. Now, if we go here, and we go here, we drag this across, we get our shotgun. Can I upgrade you? No. Yes, I can upgrade you. Can't upgrade you. And now this is a very pleasing sound, so listen to it as we play. Yes, I find that very, very pleasant. As you can see, the shotgun shoots sort of a big wide swathe out. It doesn't do a lot of damage per hit, but you are very, very likely to hit the enemies with it. So it is a good weapon that I keep. We do eventually get to replace some of our weapons. We get other weapons that come in, but I don't like replacing the shotgun just because of the very pleasing noise it makes. It is very comfortable, very satisfying. Yeah, that's good. Oh, I'm getting beaten up here. Okay, we got defeated, but we got a bunch of upgrades and things like that. And yeah, that is actually where I'm going to stop playing. Okay, all those upgrades there. We can upgrade our shotgun, we can upgrade our plasma cannon, and we can even upgrade our laser cannon at another level. And that's it. That is all the gameplay I am going to show. Is there a way I can get to the menu? No, can't actually. Can't get to the menu from here. So let's reload. Lovely go dot display. And let's just drop the music level down a bit so it's there. I don't know if you can still hear it, but I can still think and talk about it because that is quite loud. And I really, really like this game. I like the fact that the version is 0.0.0 as well. I mean, that should probably go up to at least 0.1 because it is a release. But yeah, so that is the game. And let me try and get back on track. So that is all the gameplay I am showing, is what I'm trying to say. So if you are just here for the gameplay, don't forget to drop a like if you like the video, or a dislike if you dislike the video. And then drop a comment telling me why you like to dislike the video, because that helps me become a better YouTuber in a number of different ways, and also teaches the YouTube algorithm that you are interested in videos about gaming. So it is a win-win-win scenario, at least I believe so. If, however, you like the game, don't give me likes because you like the game. Go give the developer likes here on itch.io because you like the game. And if you can vote in the Wild Jam, go and vote from there, because I think this is a game that deserves votes. I liked it quite a lot. Freezy Bird is the dev. I'll be checking out his other stuff as well and things like that. Right, so that is it for the gameplay. Critiques time. Okay, first of all, like we said, the options, UI options, are absolutely fantastic. One of the best I've seen in a while. Thank you, Freezy Bird, for making a really, really good one. The downside, however, is that there's no tutorial. I did not know how to upgrade my ship. I had to fiddle around and figure it out. I didn't realize that you could upgrade the weapons, all of that kind of stuff. This really, really needs post game jam. Obviously, all of my critique is not for the game jam. I'm not going to tell you how to enter one of those or anything like that. I have no idea what the game jam people are looking for or anything. But I'm hoping this game gets developed post game jam, and I really do recommend a tutorial teach the players how to upgrade things and where to upgrade things and all of that kind of stuff. That is quite important. So tutorial, and just I want to include this, just like I've said in other videos. The first sort of minute or two of the players playing the game is what sets their opinion of the game. And if you make it a good minute or two, then even if the rest of the game is crappy, the players will think it's a good game. And inversely, if it's a bad starting minute or two, even if the rest of the game is fantastic, players will view it negatively. They'll say this is a bad game. So you have that. The quicker you can get good thoughts about the game in your player's head, the better. For how they then view the rest of the game. So you really want to max out that starting experience, and a good tutorial is a good way to do that. Just say, hey, here's a funny joke, here's how to play, look, you can do this, wow, this is amazing, you can do that, and that'll put them in this hyped up happy mood about the game, and then they will then see the charms of the rest of the game rather than having a negative opinion about it. So yeah, good tutorials are like magic for game dev. Sounds. Game sounds are great, especially that shotgun sound. Love that. Seriously, other devs, put nice, deep, visceral sounds into your game wherever you can squeeze it in, because that really sets the experience of the game. It makes the game have impact, and people love that. I don't really like this music. I don't really like the menu music. I would pull it back a bit, make something a bit more chilled out, a bit more. I like the fact that it's a bit techy. It's a bit sort of clangy and tingly with the sort of the bell noises. Don't give it bell noises unless it's like a Christmas game or something. It's like chill that out a bit. Go have a look at the menu music from Mass Effect. You want something along those lines. That's pretty good menu music. Artwork, the game looks good. I like the artwork. If I had a complaint there, it's that it's very, very easy to get absolutely lost, especially in the later levels when there's lots of enemy ships and lots of firing happening, and you can't find your cursor and you can't find your ship, and there's just stuff happening and chaotic. If this is a game about flying around, you don't want to lose your ship. You need the ship to be big and chunky and very obviously visible. And you need your cursor to be highlighted in some way and very obviously visible, so you don't just lose what you're doing and then it's like what's happening, what's going on. You might as well have an idle collective game then, because that's kind of what it's turned into. And I will say in the critiques, probably in the gameplay section, that maybe consider turning it to something that's a bit more idle, incremental, because the game is actually quite pleasant in that sort of way. I mean, I do like the fact that this is a fly-around shooter, but there's not really much point in flying around and shooting, because you can't really dodge the ships too easily. You can't really see what's going on, so there's no kind of... I suppose that there could be hectic skill, probably far more than I have in flying around, but it doesn't really make that much of a difference to the game. You can finish it just fine by being an absolute idiot flying. And so why have the flying element at all? So we've spoken about the art and things like that, so let's get into the gameplay. There were a couple of things that I liked. I liked the fact that you could make your ship as tough as possible, and just absorb all the damage that the enemies were doing. Possibly, I mean, flying is still sort of important. You do need to kind of move to a lot of the shots and things, and the sort of the crashing into you enemy units. You sort of have to dodge them and move around. But I would say that, like, if I had to recommend a major change to the game, which is obviously something I'm reluctant to recommend because this is your game, this is the game's play that you've envisioned. So this is me talking about possibly a different game and comparing it, but it would be nice if your ship was just a big static battleship and you could take all of these impacts in the other ships crashing into you, and maybe they didn't even crash into you, maybe some of them did sort of kamikaze runs, but some of them just circled and shot you and things like that, and you had to keep upgrading to absorb all of the damage rather than trying to dodge it. And then your guns were automatic and just shot at the nearest enemy units, or you could change the priorities of which enemy units it would shoot at, and so because later you can also upgrade and sort of produce these drones that just sit in the middle of the map and shoot at enemies, So even if you move, the drones just stay behind. I wish they'd either follow you around, or you were static and you were just building these drones that would absorb impacts and do some of the shooting and things like that, and then you could upgrade the drones. And that's kind of where I envision this game expanding up to as a scrap ships. Is like you should have this old junker like cargo ship that you've inherited. Now talking about the storyline behind what's going on, because there's no real storyline either. But the storyline I would envision for a game like this that is put into my head is that you have inherited this old junker scrap ship and you're out in the middle of nowhere harvesting asteroids, and these sort of enemies start attacking you, and you sort of shoot at them with your one mining gun and destroy them, and you're able to, possibly the shooting is automatic, but you have to collect on the scrap as it appears on the screen, and then you have a little tractor beam that pulls it in. So it kind of sucks the scrap into you, and then instead of being destroyed, your ship automatically sort of teleports back home, and then you have to repair it up with some of the scrap, and then spend some of the scrap on upgrades, and so on, and then you have like quite a complex upgrade pathway with all sorts of guns and drones and things like that. And that would be the gameplay loop. So you teleport out to shoot the asteroids. Enemy units arrive, you shoot them, collect some scrap, collect some weapons, auto teleport home when you're about to die, so that it kind of explains the game loop of, why did you just die when you were destroyed? Why do you manage to survive and come back to fight again? And then sort of as you upgrade, you get to stay longer and longer and meet more and more enemy ships and things like that. That would be the gameplay loop that I would recommend this should mutate and evolve into. Rather than flying around, just have your ship be static, have your view be static, and then have other ships come in and try and attack you, and try and get through your increasingly heavy armor and your increasingly heavy barrage of weaponry that you can blast away at them with, and have that all shoot automatically, so you become the center of this automatic, just bewildering array of shots flying out. And I think that would be a very, very interesting, cosmetically pleasing game that would be fun to play. It's sort of more of an idle incremental than a twin stick shooter, but I think that would be satisfying. Then you just have to focus on the sounds and the cool imagery rather than sort of flight mechanics. And I've gone off on a complete tangent talking about a game that I want to play rather than the game that I am playing. So please forgive that. But that's what your game inspired in me. I would love this kind of idea of a big old junker turning into this massive battleship because you keep gluing more and more impressive and cooler parts onto it. I think that would make a fascinating game and a very, very fun game. And it doesn't need the twin stick flying around element, because that's not really a factor. It feels like it's cobbled on almost, even though it's a core gameplay mechanic. It doesn't really feel like you need to really implement it to play this game. And I think it's, rather than trying to change the game to implement it more, I think it would just be a much nicer game if you changed the game to kick that element out. Just made your unit static, and really it's just your tech race of shields and armor versus enemy units, enemy pirates or whatever. And it gives you a storyline, and really that's my final critique, is where's the story behind this? What is going on? Who are we? Why are we out here? In what we're sort of saying is a scrap ship, but it's not really. It looks like quite a sophisticated ship, especially compared to our enemies. What's going on? What's the story? Why are we fighting them? Why are they attacking us? Are they pirates? Are they enemies? What is the story? But other than that, I love the gameplay mechanic. I love the upgrades. I love the effects. I found this game very, very fun to play. So the link will be in the description. I do recommend you all come and play it. Give it a game. Give it a go. Go and look at the Wild Jam button over here and give the devs some love. Give some votes if you can. I'm not quite sure how the voting works. But all in all, thank you for watching. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye.